I remember 3 days before William Ruto was stoned in Jacaranda, I informed the police. Youths I know from Choka, from Jiru, from Kayole, including my relatives, have been summoned in a meeting, branded in UDA uniform, by an Azimio politician, given money.
What?
It's in record. My cousin, immediate cousin, was given 1,500. The instructions was very clear. Make it worse. William Ruto asiingie Jacaranda. I tried.
These are facts. You can substantiate. See my rumors easy at this.
Babu Owino sent 2 of my best friends to come and brutalize me because I reached on him through the phone and told him, as a youth, bro, what you are doing is not right. He's a man I know in person.
This is the Modern Vibes on Vibes Radio.
We were having a conversation. I'm sorry, I usually confuse the names. Aseli ligo hard. Tulikuwa na boys fulani kutoka Kibra alikuwa anaitwa Jamal, si ndio? Jamal mazee pia ni activist, tuko hivyo youth leader. Tulikuwa tunataka to make sense of your situation ili happen pale Kibra, where we had 2 groups of youth that were going hard against each other. Moja ilikuwa against hii group ya maandamano. The other one was for maandamano. Tunajua kulikuwa na destruction of property noma. Watu hiyo walidedi noma manze. Hizo makanisters nasikia zilikuwa zengadi hadi kwa hao manze. So Paulo, karibu tena.
Asante.
So what goes on, what was going on hii time ya maandamano, because najua mlikuwa mnafanya kitu fulani na ilikuwa lukufiti just to help avoid distraction na please walk us through what was going on exactly uko hivyo Kibra.
First of all, I'm a Kenyan, 31 years old, and I've been raised in Kenya. Mimi hakuna nchi nyingine najua isipokuwa hii nchi.
Hapa ndo home.
Na saa zile naona kijana, mama na mtoto anaumia kwa sababu ya siasa na anaumizwa na jirani yake mwenye ameishi naye for so long. Mimi mwenyewe kama Mkenya ninaumia. Lakini imefika wakati yenye kama vijana ya kwanza lazima tuambiane ukweli. Hakuna mzee mwenye ako kwa street anarusha mawe. Hakuna mama mwenye ako kwa street anachoma kibanda. Ni vijana wako kwa street wakichoma na wakiharibu. Kwa nini vijana? Juu kuna wanasiasa wamekaa chini wakaona ukitaka kakue kabaya tumia vijana. So it is high time naambia vijana, instead ya kutumiwa kuchoma, instead ya kutumiwa kubomoa, unaweza tumiwa kujenga, unaweza tumiwa kuempower, na unaweza tumiwa kuprotect. Wale vijana wako mtaa pale Kibra, tulizaliwa, wengine wetu tumezaliwa Kibra, tumelelewa Kibra, tumegrow Kibra, mababu na mababa zetu walikuwa hapo Kibra. It's the place we've been calling home for the past 25, 20, 30, some even 40, 50 years. Ni nini ikifika wakati wa siasa, sisi sasa ndo tunakuwa tena tunatumika kubomoa hood yenye already it's in a very deplorable state. It should be upgraded. That's the conversation I want to have with our youths. Shame to all those politicians who think they can use our youths to cause chaos and mayhem. Shame to those politicians who see our youths as tools of chaos and violence. Unachukua kijana mwenye ninajua, unampatia do, unamwambia hiyo njia yenye imeconnecta Lindi na Sarangombe haifai kupitika. Unamwambia hakikisheni askari wajafika huku ndani. Why are you inciting our youth to stone innocent police officers who are our brothers, they are our friends, and some of them are even our fathers? Why can't you use me to build? Why can't you use me to be somebody who is resourceful to this nation? That is the conversation I want us to have. Jana uliona basi lichomwa Ngong Road. Sahi vijana tukijitokeza tuamue kupoint out wenye walichoma hiyo basi. There are people we know. All media houses were there. Ni watu tunaweza enda na tuonyeshe nyumba wanaishi. Ni mtu ukiangalia analipa rent ya 350. Kwa nini ameenda kuchoma basi? Juu on that material day amepatiwa 1,500 na mwanasiasa na akaambiwa the instructions are very clear. Ngong Road isipitike. Now I'm saying enough is enough. Vijana wametumiwa for long. If you cannot use them for something important, let them be the way they are for the stability of our country.
So unajua Paul umesema kitu interesting. Ani maboys unajua hata wakienda kupike tunachiki distractions zikifanyika, unajua ule ni Kevo, ule ni Brayo, ule ni Andrew. So kuna kitu umekukifanya na ni very impressive. Umekukitry kumobilize ama vijana and you spreading a message na unasema don't be used by politicians.
Correct.
Enough is enough. But
Correct.
at the same time, one thing I do understand about life is the moment utachiki maboys wako desperate sana, they will easily be used because wana daido.
Correct.
They need money, right?
Correct.
So before sasa tuangalie maneno, how can we actually get out of here before we talk about the solutions na vitu kama hizo. Let's go back to whatever happened in the previous maandamano. Mali tulikuwa tumecheki two groups of youth walikuwa na go against each other na ili lead to ata a church. I think a church ilikuwa destroyed, ilichomeka kiasi part of the church. There was also a mosque na here houses were torched. True. Yeah, so you've been doing something amazing. Umekuwa spreading gospel and saying, you know what guys, I think the other ways of handling ima desperations tuko nazo, hizi ma issues tuko nazo. Your process inaendeleaje? And hii ideally come about aje?
First of all, before uende upige mtu uharibu mali yake, jua some of those people are absolutely innocent and they have nothing to do with the current state of affairs. Wewe si Mkikuyu, wewe si Mjaluo, wewe si Mkalenjin, wewe si Mluya. We are all Kenyans and we are all suffering.
Exactly.
The best we can do, tunaweza leta hizi sauti zetu pamoja, to reason kama wa Kenya na tuambie serikali, kama vijana, kama wamama, kama wazee, kama wazalendo, ya kwamba shida yetu ni uchumi. Shida yetu ni ukosefu wa kazi. Shida yetu ni usalama. Serikali, shirikianeni na wananchi tujenge inchi yetu. All we are saying, you can address the challenges and problems facing Kenyans.
Yeah.
Something should not lie to you that you are a Kikuyu and you feel more important than a Luya. That you are a Luo, you feel you are more Kenyan than a Kalenjin. No, our problems are the same. Our challenges are the same. What can we do? The opposition can use non-violent means to address the challenges facing common mwananchi. The government can embrace diplomacy to address the challenges facing common mwananchi.
Absolutely.
Bro, nataka nikuambie kitu. Ungetoka hii studio on Thursday, uendeshe tu gari yako kama mwananchi wa kawaida, uende along Ngong Road, aungepita. Uende along Langata Road, aungepita. And today I want to speak. And I'll speak with a lot of courage because some of these things, we know the people who are propelling them.
Interesting.
Embakasi East, Babu Owino. He's a youth like me. And he's a man I know in person. What Babu Owino is doing with the youth of Embakasi East is very unfair.
What are you talking about?
I'm saying that the violence you saw in Embakasi East, you see, before elections, there are things that happen and we ignored. A politician would mobilize the youths to stone a certain presidential candidates to make his candidate feel better. I shared this with the police. I shared this with the law enforcement administration, and I shared this with the local authority. I remember 3 days before William Ruto was stoned in Jacaranda, I informed the police. Youths I know from Choka, from Jiru, from Kayole, including my relatives, have been summoned in a meeting, branded in UDA uniform by an Azimio politician, given money.
What?
It's in record. My cousin, immediate cousin, was given 1,500. The instructions was very clear. Make it worse. William Ruto asiingie Jacaranda. I tried.
These are facts. You can substantiate. See my rumors easy at this.
Babu Owino sent 2 of my best friends to come and brutalize me because I reached on him through the phone and told him, as a youth, bro, what you are doing is not right. He's a man I know in person. It's when that there are some youths I won't mention because they saw the need to inform me that, bro, hii inafanyika lakini pia unajua tuko njaa.
Lakini no fairness, I don't think it's good if you mention Babu because ingekuwa poa kange kwa hapa ndo respond.
You see, facts are very persistent. You can bend it, you can twist it, you can turn it, you can roll it, but nothing can change the truth. I can show you a personal conversation between me and Babu Owino. I was trying to tell him, my brother and friend, what you are doing and the way you are using our youths from Embakasi East, it is not right. You don't have to take a youth from Jiru, brand him in UDA uniform, take them to Embakasi to go rampage. Do you know Embakasi East is the constituency in Nairobi that had the worst cases of violence in this year? as far as the mandamano is concerned.
No.
Do you know there was massive destruction of property to an extent it reached youths were breaching people's compound, stealing and brutalizing people.
Kulikuwa hata kibra,
Go
basically.
to the center.
Yeah.
A youth who had just struggled, who had taken a loan of 4 million and opened a shop selling bicycles. All the bicycles were looted.
Normal.
A youth like you, he has taken a loan. You burned somebody's car. You stoned somebody's house. Did that house vote? Is that bicycle the reason why you are preferred presidential candidate lost elections? Mayouth tusikubali kutumika.
Kuna kitu moja umesema na imecapture attention yangu. Hii kitu, it's not the first time that the youth are being used, and this modern day youth are not the ones that are being used. It's a pattern. Unaona? We've seen that poverty is one of the leading reasons as to why we have the youth being coerced every single time. Umesema unapata msee nalipa nyumba yake so 3 and then akipewa 1500 anajua ako sorted for like the month and stuff like that. So don't you think that the youth of Kenya have been made deliberately poor so that they stay in the positions they are? You're educated, you're unemployed, you're poor, you don't have money. So is the politicians' agenda to make sure that the Kenyan youth remain poor?
You've asked a very important question. And poverty is a bad thing. In fact, if it were my wish, the first enemy that we should be fighting in this country is poverty. Poverty is the reason why a jobless youth sees the need to engage in rampage, so at the end of the day he goes something with. They take advantage of the situation to use us to cause chaos. But poverty is just but a catalyzing factor. You see, as much as we are looking at it in terms of poverty, we must also remember that politician thrives well where there is division. Politicians thrive best where people are not united. That is why they will come with a narrative, it is us versus them. You see, those people, they are bad people. They never supported our man. They never held our hand.
So they create narratives.
So they create a narrative that you people from this side, those people are your enemy. And if you want to enjoy, you must fight them.
You
understand? You see, we all know what happened in 2007. We were all here. It was along the tribal line. In 2013, as there's a certain politician in Kenya who was even trying to say that the 42 tribes, we must unite against this tribe because they have been presidents since independence. My brothers, I want to tell you the truth. I don't have a problem being led by a Luya president for even 15 years, as long as he is democratically elected. We are in a democratic state. We must respect the will of the Kenyan people.
Shikilia hapo kidogo. Guys, by the way, it's 7:30 right now. You can stream live on www.vibesradio.co.ke. Tunaongea na Oyawo Paul. He's an activist kutoka Kibera. Sasa hapa hivi tunauliza a very very simple question. Maandamano and destruction of property. Kusema kweli, who's responsible? How did we get here, especially as youth? Just sisi ndio most of the times you tumika. You know, when it comes to hii maneno ya kuchafua tu. We are always used, and you've heard how Paul and Aseli have said it's mostly because of poverty. Phone lines zitakuwa open in a bit. Unaweza tupigia simu 0719012700 Brian.
Hapo sawa kabisa. So the thing that you're talking about is you're okay so long as there is democracy, but is it by design that democracy is not meant to work?
You see,
because all the nations that tend to protect democracy, they use democracy as a tool for Africa. In their countries, the democracy they use is totally different. Our democracy has led Africa and Kenya in particular to be dependent on foreign aid. Si tumezoea tu kupewa bro. The US most recently has been pushing an agenda in Kenya, especially with the youth. We've seen the UK, which has been really rampant in making sure that there are some things that must go through them for Africa to advance. Most recently, we've seen the formation of BRICS. That is all these nations that are coming together to make sure that they have one currency. And it's causing a rift in between the allegiance ile ya Afrika. Kwa sababu there is interests at heart. When is Africa going to set an agenda? When are the African youth going to set an agenda for the rest of the world? In that we just are not key players when it comes to workmanship. This is in labor na outcomes, but we are not put at the table when it comes to making of the decision. Kama sahi South Africa has put itself on the forefront. It's done a collaboration at least with Russia, and we've seen it do a collaboration with China to make sure that they are at the forefront of creating a new currency, in that they don't have to trade in their in the American dollar. They can trade in their own currency, say the rand, say the Kenya shilling, say the yan. I'd like you to just talk to me about this aspect of wanasema democracy in our work, but it's just making us go over the same loop over and over again. There must be something wrong.
There's something wrong, critically wrong, and our problem as a nation and our problem as a continent is poor leadership and lack of political.
Is it by design?
It is by design, because you see, if you go to Kibra, you empower those youths. They become independent, economically independent. They can fend for themselves. They are busy. Go to America, you cannot call a rally during the day. Why? During the day, majority of the youths are busy. They are at work. Forcing politicians to call their rallies at night, at least is when people are from work, they are available for some fewer hours. But in Kenya, call a rally at 5 a.m. in the morning.
Tutaenda.
Kasarani will be full. Uhuru Park will be full. Kamukunji will be full. Jacaranda will be full. Why? Because our youths are jobless. They are not engaged. And if you choose to engage them economically, you will lose your audience. Why? Now they will be busy with other things. Now he who feeds you controls you, and they know the best time to feed you is during elections. So that they give you some handouts, you give them attention, then they use your numbers as bargaining power. I was telling those youths in Kibra, don't go protest. The police are there to protect people and property. When you use excessive force, they will be forced to use equal force against you. You will die, and a politician will use your funeral as a latitude to preach hate. They've killed our child who was fighting for our rights. Nobody will be told you burnt somebody's matatu, an innocent person who was going about his daily business. So youths of this country and the youths in Africa at large must understand our problem as a continent is poor leadership. They won't empower you so that you can depend on them, and they will use your numbers to control their needs and satisfy their interests.
Unajua nini Paul, umesema you went and told them not to protest.
Yes.
Turnout ilikuwaje this time?
The turnout was poor, and some attempted in the morning.
So they heard what you told them.
Majority of them had. And to the few who didn't hear what we told them, we were there to tell them, this time the police won't arrest you. We will do a civilian arrest and hand you over to the police. It worked.
And it worked.
Ask the commander who was responsible for the demos in Kibra. We even saw them robbing a certain lady of her property. We retrieved the stolen property.
What?
Right inside the hood.
Good stuff.
Returned to the lady and handed over the said criminal to the police.
No. In all fairness, Paul, okay, let me not be too excited. Kuna watu wanasema hii maandamano ndio inapatia serikali pressure. It is good. Tuendelee hivyo. Picketing is actually the right. Whether it comes with distraction. Look at whatever happened in France about a month ago, Disruption ilikuwa normal, so it's not unique to the Kenyan experience, right? No matter how people will be victimized, no matter the cost. So people are saying the only way that kutakuwa na electoral justice, the only way the high cost of living itarudishwa chini, the only way we're going to see changes in society that are favorable to the youth is when picketing ni normal. Pressure, serikali inaelewa tu pressure.
Protest, demonstration, picketing and ticketing are constitutional rights.
Exactly.
As long as you do it as required by the law.
Mona dance.
Bro,
peaceful.
Bro, I can call you for a mandamano. And I can promise you will attend. Why? Because when we are protesting against police brutality or high cost of living, first we will do it in an organized manner such that we will not breach the peace of those who have chose not to participate. We can even barricade the road and police won't tear gas us. Why? Because we will just be lying there crying so that the government can heed.
Fair enough. Lakini okay, I guess let me ask you another question. Sasa, how do you think police walihandle hii maandamano ya Monday? How would you rate them out of 10?
I rate the Kenyan police
this recent maandamano, not in general.
This recent maandamano, I must say that police officers did an excellent job. Our youth, especially from Kibra and Embakasi East, were trying to give them so many reasons, maybe to kill as many youths as possible. Not even to engage. Remember Carrefour, not Carrefour, the one we normally use, the one for Karanja in Dandora. They broke into that supermarket, looted everything, while the police officer were there just watching. Instead of using equal force to stop that, they tried their level best to disperse the rioters. And I want to tell you the truth, my brother. Some of these politicians want this youth to engage the police so that the police can kill as many youths as possible, so that them, the politicians, can get a bargaining power to strike their deal.
But Skiza, listen to what Martha Karua tweeted. She said it would be useful if at Police KE, IGNPS, and at DCI Kenya plus at ODPPKE to explain to Kenyans why police stationed to stop #Maandamano Tuesday did not come to the rescue of both vehicles, and why in turn and why we saw the police walking away from the scene of crime. Do you think these distractions were actually stage managed? Now my question to you is, Paul, and do you think these things were actually stage managed? Because you know politicians can play games.
I was in the ground. Some people allege that Mariga funded us to hold the protest in Kibra. Some say it's Rigathi Gachagua. Others say it's Moses Kuria. As a Muslim, I want to tell you the truth before God.
Yes.
Nobody funded us. In fact, I went into my own pockets to print those messages of peace, the message that I was sharing with the residents of Kibra. I want to tell you the truth that Martha Karua referred to me and my friends as hooligans hired from Thika to come and breach peace. Bro, I can even give you my address and my area residents together with the address of my friends, including Timothy. We are not hooligans and we are not from Thika as alleged by one Martha Karua.
Let's get it straight. Sisi vile tulipata history ya Kibra ni different. Kwa sababu walisema pale kwa ground wale youth walikuwa na work na polisi, walikuwa ni watu wenye wametoka area ingine,
which is a lie.
Unaona, that's what we were told, right?
Which is a lie.
You remember the last time we had a conversation?
That's what you told me also yesterday.
My brother,
that all my youth wametoka places.
My brother, a day before the protest in Kibra, I was in the streets and I told them, you come before you engage the police, before you destroy people's property, before you stone our women and children, you will find us. We were there before the police.
Yeah.
I have all the evidence.
Does it mean that the youth in Kibra decided to work with the police?
We did not decide to work with the police. We decided to do the right thing. And when the police officers came there, they found us manning zones that those people would use to breach peace. I can't tell you the truth that members of our community even supplied police officers with water. Even showed the police officers the volatile areas where those people were just holding, waiting to stone police vehicle.
So let me ask you a question. What was the true situation in Kibra? Because we've gotten a mix of so many things. One, we were told that the youth wa Kibra kuna watu walikuwa wamelipwa kukuja ku disrupt peace in Kibra. That is one of the things that we were told. Imagine that's the narrative we've been going
even when Jamal came here.
Even when Jamal came here, hiyo ndio narrative ilikuwa inaenda. And then it now gradually spiked from just being the people that want maandamano versus the people who do not want maandamano. And so we were told clearly that the people who wanted maandamano were the ones who are planning planning a raid on Kibra.
Yes.
And then we were told the other side was the side that did not want maandamano decided to work with the police. And gradually it escalated from just being an exchange of ideology, people who don't agree on maandamano for or against, when walikuja, unaona, inakani hiyo ndio ilikuwa the initial clash. Then it escalated into a war of religion, in that Wanubi wa hiyo area wakakuja because most of the Nubians are Islam, and most of the Christians are coming from the other faction. it now became it was said that politicians were using that atmosphere to fund and making sure that they get to see the violence continue. So just talk to us and tell us what's the true situation in Kibra.
My brother, you see, first of all, facts are very persistent. I'm not a Nubian, I'm a Luo, and I'm a Muslim. Islam is my faith. The Kibra MP, through his army, you see, in the hood, in the ghetto, when you are allied to certain person, you are called jeshi ya mtu fulani. So there is a jeshi that was to show Raila Odinga that Kibra is his hood. And this jeshi doesn't consider who is who. When they decide to go on rampage, they wanted to sweep the 5 wards across Kibra constituency. So we told them, my brother, we know each other for long. We've been friends. We play football tournaments together. We watch football together. There are those things we do together. We share the same hospital, the same market. Kindly do not do this inside the hood. Instead, accompany your leader and their allies to wherever they will be
They will be going.
So this army or jeshi felt offended. And we told them, you see there, we will not allow you to go. So there was a standstill between 2 wards. We were on the upper side, they were on the lower side. To provoke us, they lit a bonfire. Then the Kibra MP came and told them, what was your hold hostage? And then they decided to cross. When they crossed, they were coming towards the mosque area. We told them, my brother, what you people are doing is not right. Now, this resulted into a fight. Because we were now trying to repulse them. In retaliation, they decided to call for backup.
Backup from who?
Outside Kibra constituency. Makongeni.
Okay.
Kibra, Kariobangi.
So hiyo ndio ikafanyika ni kama kuna report that people have been paid from outside.
Yes, now when the other jeshi came, they overpowered us. And what they did, they first breached the compound near Makina and lit the mosque. Destroyed the church, then they decided to burn the church. This angered both the Christian and the Muslims in that area. So now people say enough is enough. That is why I am telling you, even as we speak right now, if maandamano was to happen today, non-residents won't access Kibra. And the residents we know.
Kidogo too. I'd like to know what the true situation is like in Kibra. Do the Islamic leaders know that this was a plan and it's not the Christians who touched the mosque? And do the Christians know that the Muslims did not touch the church? Because
both Muslims and Christians understand that those who committed those atrocities are not from Kibra.
So there is no religious war in Kibra. We
had that conversation yesterday, and currently the 2 communities are working together to repair the damages. The Muslim will support the Christian will support the Muslim.
So it's clear to say that hakuna vita vya kidini.
It's a lie, it's a propaganda. My brother, let me just
briefly, kwa sababu lazima nifungue phone lines na jisaini 745 in 10 seconds. 5 seconds.
People believe that Kibra is the headquarters of violence in Nairobi constituency. That narrative is changing.
Okay. Sawa. Asante sana. Guys, 0719012700. Tumekuwa tukibanja na Oyawo Paul is an activist kutoka Kibera rather. And of course we also earlier had Dennis Aseto. My name is Kev Matara Otada the Beast.
Most bankable host Brian Aseli.
That's right. Unaweza tupigia simu. By the swali ilikuwa maandamano and destruction of property. Who exactly is responsible? 0719012700.
Where you are the MVP.
Hello, Vibes Radio, good morning.
Good morning.
Niaje ndugu, tunaongea na nani?
You are talking to Wafula.
Wafula, uko na comment ama uko na swali?
I hear you talking at the studio. And I'm just wondering actually the direction of the conversation, because the person pretending to defend the government side and also rebuking the opposition is also not very genuine. Genuine with the facts. How do you say that you went to help and talk to the youth? Are you telling us that this government is such incompetent that it cannot defend the citizens, such that it is you to come up and help in defending the citizen and talking to, I talked to the other group and when we talked, and so they called the backup. Who are you to talk to them when there is already government there? Why couldn't you talk to government agencies? Are you telling us there is no NIS in this government to understand that in Kibra there are chaos between, they are likely to happen here and here? So we will send our people who this to take care of the things. Is it your work? Like you are the one to talk to them? That is one. Number two, it is a fact that in Kibra, okay, there's no religion war in Kibra as per se. But what is in Kibra and what no journalist has gone there to bring report, and it is a true fact, is there is a problem between Nubis and Luos in Kibra. And this thing is just underwater. You know, and people always just find a chance. You know, Kenyans, we are Kenyans of opportunities. We are opportunistic. Anything small, we use it now to fight our neighbor. Because, you know, in 2007 election violence, if you are here, you will realize that election was nothing. It was not all about looting. Kenyans were not after looting, or if they are looting, there are just few cases here and there. But it was a tribal war. But in this election, in this mandamano you are seeing today, there's nothing. It's not about even the demonstration. It is Kenyans who are opportunistic. They are hungry.
Okay.
People don't have food on their table, and therefore, anything small they get, they start looting to get something for themselves. They start looting because to them they are. How will you address people who don't have anything to put on table? They don't have jobs. They are always idle, and you are not telling the government that please engage these people. Lastly,
all right.
Lastly, just
yes.
lastly.
Finally, briefly.
Okay, briefly. Lastly, if this government is genuine enough, why couldn't they just agree before the mandamano started? Why now, all of a sudden, we have now accepted, we have removed Kainan. Why couldn't they do that before?
Asante
and there will be no mandamano, you see?
All right.
They are playing with our mind.
Okay. Vibes Radio, good morning.
Hello,
Vibes Radio, good morning.
ningetaka mimi kusema hivi,
Yes.
hii mambo na Wakenya wanajua waangalie na viongozi waangalie. Many youth in Kenya have no job.
Many youth have no job.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, and to make it matter what, no way a politician can give Kenyan youth money and they're idle, and then they ignore.
Exactly.
So we must be these things happening.
All right. Asante sana. Roland, twende Eldoret.
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. You right?
Yes, talk to us.
Yeah. I'm good. I'm happy. Nimeamka fiti. Nimesikia conversation yenu. But mimi kwa kitu nitaka kuongea juu ya huyo msemo mwenye hapo studio anaitwa Paul.
Yes. Paul. Talk to us.
Now, huyo jamaa anasema eti hiyo wakati kumekuwa na noma Kibichi, watu walikuwa hadi kutoka Kariobangi wakakuja kuleta noma
Makongeni.
Leo tunajua vizuri Makarao walikuwa kila place. Kutoka Kariobangi ufike Kibichi ni far. Unaget? Yale jamaa malito wametoka Kariobangi wakakuja Kibichi kuleta noma. Unaget? Alafu Makarao walikuwa kila place. Hakuna vile mtu angetoka Kariobangi access Kibichi. Unaona? So hiyo I don't think kama tuambie ukweli. Alafu anasema eti Makarao wamekuwa wakifanya job fiti. Nini leo tunajua kumekuwa na hii incident. Kwa mfano ile ilikuwa ile familia ya Uhuru. Mayuto waliingiaje kwa familia ya Uhuru na Makarao wako? It take how long did it take kwa Makarao ku respond? Ujamaa ako baita, tunajua politician wanatumia hii kitu wanasema divide and rule. Unaona? Wa actually want to divide and want to rule. Ujamaa ako divided. He's not speaking in the truth. Kila mara anasema eti let me tell you the truth. He's telling us what is in his head. What is in his head, not what the truth is. Alright. Azina bana tibabu still fine nini? Akona facts. Take them to court.
Sasa, asante sana bro. That's Roland kutoka Eldoret. Ni aje guys, good morning.
Morning, Brian.
Good morning, Kevin Brian.
Unasemaje my brother? Unaitwa nani by the way?
Santos Baraza.
Santos.
Talk to us.
Yeah, so mi naweza semaje?
Yeah.
Huyu jamaa anajaribu create points zingine hapo. Which is lie, kama ya watu kutoka Kariobangi sijui wapi kuja Kibra. Mimi ni mkaji wa Kibra. But mi kitu naweza sema ni kuna ka tribal war Kibra. Yenye watu wajaangalia kiundani sana. Kuna hii vita ya Nubian versus Christians.
Nubian
So,
versus Christians ama Nubians versus Luos?
Another tribe, yeah.
Ni versus Christians, sio tribe ati Luo juu.
So una mix vitu mbili. So you ni religious.
Yeah, iko hapo juu. Ukiona ka maandamano ikianza, the Nubians wakisema kuprotect area yao, utaona kama hizi tribes zingine na which ni Christians, wataanza tu kuvurugana hapo, na hiyo ni vita. Kwanza area za Lindi hapo, kwa kupitiki juu ya Nubians.
Sawa. All right, asante sana Empress. We have to talk to our lady friend. Wendy. Hello. Morning Wendy. Leo uko wapi?
Niaje Brayo?
Tuko fiti kabisa.
It's Brian and Kevin. Unapiga kutoka wapi leo?
Hapa tu pika ni Wendy.
Haya, tuchapie.
Sasa. Jamaa kwanza na
Wendy, network iko down. Tutoke kwa nyumba kidogo. Unasemaje?
Sema. Huyu jamaa sawa sana.
Ako sawa.
At the end of the day. Tukiharibu property, nani anatagaramika? At the end of the day, maisha itaishi. Tuadapt, tujue venye tutaishi. Vitu. At the end of the day, venye tunaharibu ndio gava inatengeneza vitu.
Ni kweli.
Nini vitu zitaendelea zitaendelea kupanda. Sisi ndio watu wajinga.
All right.
Tukue tu responsible.
Kabisa.
All right. Asante sana Wendy, big up. Thank you for listening to us and thank you for calling us. So I guess my guys, msikizo my comments and calls, there are so many, but because of time says shike ziko zote.
Yeah, I'd like you to respond to some of the things that zimesema hapa hivi. There's some people who are saying we can't substantiate your claims against Babu Wino. Another thing is you've talked about the conduct of the police, but hapo hivyo in your defense tuliuliza most recently siku tu imepita jana. That's and true. How they behaved. For yesterday I think the police did a great job.
They did a great job.
For jana. Generally na maandamano zote zenye zimekuwa zikiendelea, I don't think, because there's been a lot of police brutality.
Absolutely.
But kuna watu wale wanatoka Kibra wanasema the distance between Kibra and other hoods, considering the kind of security that was put in place,
kwanza Kariobangi,
inasemekana ni kama it's a little bit hard. And then also talk to us about, is it tribal war or religious war? Because ume mentioned Sai, and there are so many questions that came about. Talk to us.
First of all, facts are very persistent, and I want to address the first caller.
Yes.
That regardless of the situation, whether it is poverty, whether it is hunger or disease, it doesn't give you any reason as a responsible citizen to burn roads, destroy properties or injure your neighbor. I won't tell you that because I'm hungry, because I didn't have breakfast, when I see you passing, I should mug or even brutalize you because I slept hungry. You see, my economical condition is not a reason enough why I should be a source of hazard to my neighbor or environment. That is one. Number two, Raila attracts a wide support in and outside Nairobi County. For example, when he calls a rally in Kamkunji, Kibra, people will come as far as Ruai to attend the Kibra rally because Baba has said so. It is a fact that is in public domain. And you will realize that everywhere Baba goes, he have supporters from different parts of Nairobi, known as Jeshi ya Baba. Majority of these people identify themselves with where Raila's strongholds are, such as Kibra. That is why I use this word, that Kibra is the headquarter of political violence here in Kenya, capital city, Nairobi. They are always ignited in Kibra because if you barricade Ngong Road, if you barricade Langata Road, you've paralyzed transport activities inside the capital city. That is one. Number two, the state of quagmire between the Nubi community and the Luo community is a narrative that some people are trying to create. In fact, if there is a community that is now dominating Kibra area, they are doing their things in a peaceful way. They are trying to engage the government in a positive way, and they are not even noticing it's the Luya community, because now they are the second largest community in Kibra. They live peacefully with the Nubians. The Kikuyus, they are not at war with the Nubians. But again, the Nubians, because of their political neutrality, they have become a target for some political subjects, e.g. the Kibra member of parliament, who is not happy that the Nubian community never gave their support to the opposition.
How sure are you about the statement you're saying?
That. You know, see, like, I don't know how you know that.
Facts are very persistent, and some of these people...
So let's say that's word on the ground.
I'll tell you something, that these politicians are very funny. The day we were holding our protest, somebody tried to reach out to me, telling me we can negotiate, create a platform so that you can meet so and so. We talk about this, don't do that. We told them we are not doing this for political reasons. By the way, we are non-political. But all we are saying, at the end of the day, we need government's help and support. Ruto will build roads in Kibra. We need the government of the day to build hospitals in Kibra. We need the government of the day to help the youths of Kibra community. All we want is nothing but development. Are
you affiliated to any party, or you are non-partisan? Because if you don't belong to any political party, then 100% I will support you every day.
In 5 seconds.
My brother.
Yes or no?
My brother. I have a political right just like any other Kenyan.
Of course.
Even to support you today. If you convince me that you have my best interest at heart. All I'm telling the residents and youth, not only of Kibra, but Nairobi as a county, we can work with the government for the betterment of our community, of our city, our county, and ourselves. That we can, it is us the youth who can tell the government what we want done, and not vice versa.
Oyawo Paul, activist Kibra, #morningvibes. Maandamano and destruction of property. Nani ni responsible kwa maneno yote? Thanks a lot, bro. Imekuwa fiti sana. Right now we are at the top of the hour. Saa 2 kamili, time for the news courtesy of Dennis Aseto. Tukikuwa in the next hour, conversations bado zitakuwa zina go down. Good.
This is the Modern Vibes on Vibes Radio.